Hello everyone, this is lecture 5 on Income Tax 2 for BCom 6th semester students. In today's class, we are going to solve a small sum on short-term capital gain. And the problem is, Miss Arpita purchased listed shares of Gokte Limited for Rs 1 lakh on 1st June 2019 and on 1st March 2020 she sold them for Rs 1,50,000. The brokerage paid was Rs 2,000. Calculate capital gain. Before you solve any problem, you need to remember or understand certain points. Here, you are just asked to calculate the capital gain, but you are not mentioned anywhere in the sum whether to calculate short-term capital gain or long-term capital gain. So, whether the sum is based on short-term or long-term capital asset or gain, you need to understand it with the help of holding period. In the sum, you are given the dates, that is the date of purchase as well as the date of sale of the capital asset. You can find out whether the asset is short-term capital asset or long-term capital asset. Number one, based on the holding period, and second one is based on the nature of capital asset. So what is the nature of capital asset in the sum? Miss Arpita has purchased listed shares. She is holding listed shares. Listed shares are financial assets and the cut-off holding period for listed shares is 12 months. So just check whether Arpita is holding these shares for more than 12 months or less than 12 months. When she purchased these shares? On 1st June 2019, and when she has sold these shares, she has sold it on 1st March 2020. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January and February, because on 1st she has sold it. We cannot count March month. So Miss Arpita has held those shares for 9 months, which is less than the cutoff period. So when it is less than the cutoff period, we understand that the sum is based on short-term capital asset and the result arising from it will be either short-term capital gain or short-term capital loss. So let us start solving the sum now. Computation of short-term capital gain of Miss Arpita for the assessment year 2021. First we take full value of consideration. Full value of consideration the amount is 1,50,000 rupees. From this, we have to deduct expenses on transfer. So are you given any expenses on transfer? Yes, the brokerage charges. It is nothing but these are the expenses that are incurred during the transfer. Expenses on transfer. You can show it in the bracket, that is the expenses of transfer, or you can also say it is brokerage at brokerage charges, and the amount is 2,000. Full value of consideration minus expenses on transfer, the balance remaining is known as net consideration. So the balance remaining is 1,48,000. From this we have to deduct cost of acquisition. So less cost of acquisition. Cost of acquisition is nothing but cost of purchase of the shares. What is the amount that Arpita has spent on purchasing the shares? It is 1 lakh rupees. So less 1 lakh. The balance remaining is now 48,000. You are not given cost of improvement. There cannot be any cost of improvement on the shares. So directly this value is gross short term capital gain. Gross short term capital gain. From this you have to deduct exemptions if they are given in the sum. No exemptions given. Now the balance is exemptions are nil. Now the balance is 48,000 rupees only. This is our final answer, 48,000. Which is known as net short term capital gain. I hope you have understood this sum. First we take full value of consideration. Full value of consideration is nothing but the amount of the value of sale of the shares. Arpita has sold shares for 1,50,000. Then we deduct expenses on transfer. We are given brokerage charges in the sum, which is rupees 2,000. Deducted from full value of consideration, we get 1,48,000, which is nothing but net consideration. Then deduct cost of acquisition. Cost of acquisition is purchase price of the shares, which is 1 lakh. Remaining balance is 48,000, which is known as gross short term capital gain. From gross short term capital gain, deduct exemptions if there are any. Here no exemptions are given. Therefore, the gross short term capital gain itself is net short term capital gain, that is 48,000. Net short term capital gain is our final answer, which we also call it as short term capital gain. Next class we are going to solve one more problem on short term capital gain with some small adjustment.